first group pod of the new year.
Is it?
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. All right.
Well, the Homie Award.
That was was that the first or 30? That was the 31st.
Did we do it on New Year's Eve?
It was the Saturday before New Year's.
Oh, okay.
So
It was.
30th.
We didn't talk about
It was the 30th. It was New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the first one.
2024.
2024.
We kicked it off with a good one.
Yeah, we did. Man. Yeah.
Honestly, I think this is the first movie that you had me come on for the review that wasn't horrible.
That is not true, Oz.
Technically, this was my idea.
While it was your idea, all I'm saying is this is the first movie I reviewed with you that wasn't absolute garbage.
That is not true.
What?
Mortal Kombat?
I wasn't here for that, was I?
Yeah, you were.
What?
Yeah, for
that
both
was
of
you.
them.
It definitely wasn't me because I was upset about it.
Yeah, he was upset about it. Yeah, we did 95 and Annihilation.
I wasn't here for Annihilation.
I was here for Annihilation.
He was here for Annihilation.
But we were both here for Annihilation.
Yeah,
what?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. It's on tape.
Yeah.
Check the tapes.
God, I don't remember. I have a horrible memory. Anyway,
just blocking it out.
But
That's
either
what it
way,
is.
all I'm saying is, I noticed, especially while watching this movie out there in your living room and such, that we all shut up for most of it.
I will say, given that this is a within the last few years movie, we probably should spoiler warn here.
Yeah.
So spoilers for possibly parts of the Dune novel that it's based off of, the 65 Frank Herbert novel, and then the entirety of the 2021 Dune film.
Yes.
We have not seen part 2 yet. It is not released, so we won't have any spoilers for
I've
part
seen
2.
it.
Now I'm actually looking forward to it though, because I wasn't before because I hadn't seen this one yet.
See, I saw this movie the night it came out. I had to wait all these years.
I got a special screening of it. I saw it.
Oh, okay.
I saw it before I saw this.
It wouldn't matter because you wouldn't remember anything.
No.
So,
So we good.
Yeah. I had an old friend that I wanted to bring back before we got things too far kicked off here.
Is that what you named your
Okay.
The guessing game.
I was wondering about that.
Everyone's favorite game.
I forgot about this shit.
I have a character in mind.
Is it from Dune?
It is not from Dune. Okay. That would make things entirely. It's from the 82. It's from the 84 movie. Yep.
Which you haven't seen.
I mean, it's the same characters.
Yeah.
This is a character from a movie. This is not superhero based, not comic book based. But it is.
Okay.
From a movie, and because there's 3 of you, you each get 4 questions and 1 guess each.
Okay.
You may relinquish your guess for an additional question if you so choose.
That just helps them out. I'm not going to do that.
It just gives him points.
We'll go clockwise. So we'll start with Brendan.
Damn it! Why? Is it a live action movie?
Yes.
Has everyone here seen it?
I'm going to say yes.
Is it from this decade?
No.
Is it a comedy?
No.
The character that you have in mind, are they the lead protagonist?
Debatable. One of...
It's the best answer.
Yeah. One of... I won't give you too much. One of a potential 3.
Damn, there's some.
Is the movie sci-fi?
Yes.
Does it involve laser swords?
Not the cut that I saw, no.
I went the same place.
Or sorry, lightsabers, because fuck.
Copyright reasons, we understand.
Yeah. No, I thought you were just saying that to piss me off. Because, like,
there's
there's two things about Star Wars that piss me the fuck off. If Daisy Ridley is in it, or if they say the word laser sword.
Yeah. That pissed me off, too. That's why I was correcting myself.
Because only Jedis carry that type of weapon.
It's a tool in the hands of a Jedi.
Oh, my God.
No, this is positive.
Is this character a male?
No.
Going through the Rolodex. Sorry, guys.
Same.
God damn.
Hear those gears turning.
Yeah, like, honestly, they're almost burning.
Yeah.
I suck at this game.
There's smoke coming out from your headset.
Is this movie before the year 2000?
In the year 2000.
Yes. Last round of questions.
So we know it's from the year 2000 or after.
I'm sorry, that's only
Before.
You said before 2000.
Before.
yeah,
Okay.
before 2000.
So we didn't. So it's not on the year 2000. In the year 2000.
It's before the year 2000.
Okay.
Next question. I'm joking.
Damn. All right. So
That's fair enough.
This is tough.
this
This is very vague. We haven't really narrowed down shit.
Well, then help narrow it down,
Wow.
Brendan.
Well, you asked a third of the questions, asshole. Does that narrow
And
enough for you?
just another clarification. You said this person was potentially one of the main characters.
Yep.
You said one of three.
It's a female
potential
protagonist.
protagonists, and it's a female.
Was it well received?
Yes.
He has not seen Harry Potter, so
Was
that's
that
also
before 2000?
not before 2000.
No.
Huh.
Before 2000, sci-fi, a woman lead or a woman protagonist, one of a few leads.
Have they continued to make movies in this franchise after 2000?
Yes.
Did this woman operate heavy machinery?
No.
Damn it! Okay.
Who would be the other alien protagonist?
That's like
Like,
I guess if you, well, I'm not going to say anything.
well, in Aliens, you could count
Yeah,
the
I
guy,
was gonna
the
say.
little girl, the ones they killed off screen.
that's
Alien
where I
3,
was. Yeah.
the worst alien movie
Yeah.
by far.
That is all the questions.
Oh,
That's it.
You know.
we
So
didn't
now-
accomplish really shit.
You guys got
we
a
narrowed-
good bit done.
Yeah,
actually.
we narrowed it down.
Now it's time for it to put all those clues together.
It's tough. Okay.
I'm probably gonna kick myself if I don't get this.
I'm not.
It's something probably
this
super
This
obvious.
is so fucking out there. I think, yeah.
You have all seen this.
There weren't that many female protagonists, though.
That's why my mind went straight Ellen Ripley. But
Well, mine went straight to where his went to, which I should probably see a doctor. But I went to Star Wars immediately because it's 3 protagonists. But no lightsabers. And it's sci-fi. There's not a lot of sci-fi female protagonists that aren't Ellen Ripley or Leia Organa before 2000. But they do exist.
Did we confirm that it's a movie?
Yes.
Okay.
This is definitely from a movie.
I don't know if Ace has seen Never Ending Story.
That's more fantasy anyway.
The first one, yes.
That's the only one that's really important to me.
I
The
have
second
one
one's
in
not
mind,
awful,
but
but-
I'm pretty sure it's not it.
Well, I mean, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go for it.
Is it the princess from Spaceballs?
Jesus fucking Christ. No. Don't they have a form of laser sword in...
They have the Schwartz.
The
and then
Schwartz
comes
ring.
in.
Yeah,
The Schwartz
thank you.
ring.
Yeah.
That's not a sword.
It's not a sword, it's a ring.
No, my
It's a
bad.
ring that has
My bad.
which can even shoot.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
So it
I
is
see
not
your
a
Schwartz
sword.
is as big as mine.
Jesus Christ.
God damn it. All right.
I love that movie. Well, my guess is gone.
I am going to go with Lieutenant Uhura from Star Trek.
Good guess, but that is incorrect.
I would have not have.
Oz.
That was like that was very
You of all people should know this, Oz. I'm not getting any more clues, any more hints. You guys been knocking all around this door.
So we've been knocking walls.
Yeah, you've been knocking all on those walls. Not sugar walls, though.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Oh, I know who it is now. God damn it.
Yeah, I ain't got anything. Like it's
Nothing?
all like I got nothing. Like, it's
All right,
blank.
let me give you a hint,
we're-
Oz.
All right.
Thinking too hard. Thinking too. Fucking goddamn it! Of course it was.
Sarah Connor.
Of course it was.
Yeah.
God
that-
damn it.
Yeah, I guess that is.
That's
sci-fi.
that's sci-fi action, but yes, it's still sci-fi. God damn it.
As soon as I
told
said my guess, I also then immediately thought Trinity. Because
yeah.
the Matrix came
Yeah.
out in 99.
Came
That
out in
did.
99.
Oh,
She's one of 3 leads. That would have
That would have been another
also-
good guess. God damn it.
Yeah, but... Yeah.
My movie knowledge is like I think I've like stored a lot of it away. I haven't had to use it in a while.
And the shitty movies have kind of burned away some of the.
Well,
I haven't put you through that many shitty movies. Oz.
That many?
Okay, listen. It is 2024. It's time for us to move past the stuff in the past.
You already apologized, and I will accept your apology. However, that still doesn't change the
Remember
fact
the
that I'm
therapy session.
scorned. Okay?
exactly. You know, I think we need to move past...
No. Yours is
everything.
too fresh.
We need to- That was last year.
That was a couple weeks ago.
It was a couple weeks ago.
About a week ago.
But, you know, to bring us full circle, there's only one great Terminator movie, and there's also only one great Dune movie.
Right now, at least.
Yeah, and hopefully there's about to be a second great Dune movie.
I mean,
Yeah.
that'd be kind of weird if it just sucked ass.
Well,
After
you
that
know,
big showing we
science
just
fiction
saw.
movies that's come out recently, you know,
I mean,
Star Wars Last Jedi. I mean, that's a sequel.
Yeah.
Force Awakens wasn't.
It was safe.
It was,
was,
very,
it was.
very safe.
Yeah, I mean...
It wasn't horrible, but it was
No.
safe.
And like, it's awful now. I mean...
Yeah, it just like the.
I mean,
because guilty
Because
by
we know what comes
association.
after.
Yeah, it just means it goes.
We had
nowhere.
great hopes when we first saw it.
Since we brought this up, these motherfuckers had the nerve to come out with a show called Sometimes I Think About Dying. And it stars Daisy Ridley. Which is ironic because the only times I think about dying is when I'm watching something with her in it.
Damn.
Oh,
Just-
shit.
Fucking firing shots at that lady.
I
Just
saw that shit
constant.
earlier and I was like, are you serious?
Did she shit on your head? Like, what did that lady do to you?
She shit on my hopes and dreams.
So that's a 3-way, you, Daisy, and hopes and dreams?
No, I wasn't even there.
Oh,
Yeah.
So it's just Daisy, hopes, and
I just
dreams.
watched the tape later.
Did she pull out a
Watched
thing
in
of
horror.
dildos?
Yeah, no, it was... Yeah.
Oh, shit.
However,
Yeah.
we are here to talk about the 2021 Dune movie. I'm the only person in this room who had seen it before tonight.
Yeah, I started watching it, circumstances and such, and I never got to finish it. So this was a great opportunity to do so.
Well, Oz, we'll start with you. What are your overall thoughts on the film?
Honestly, I thought it was very solid. Actually, it has good, solid action. I will say it's a little slow burn at the beginning, but it's got to do that world building, especially for the people who have not read the book and or watched the old movie.
It is very part one.
It is,
Yeah.
it's very, you definitely get that very part one. But they do have some amazing visuals. Oh my God, the sand.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, but and I think I even remarked on this when we first started watching it. Like the visuals were I didn't know if they were smart or insane with the way they did them, because like it was like there was just the architecture of the buildings.
I want to see the architect that designed everything.
Like Brendan, you even said this. It just feels uncomfortable.
Yeah.
There's no comfort to these things at all.
He loved big spaces.
He did.
All this, like, this guy had claustrophobia for real.
I think so. And on top of that, like it definitely made things pop though. Like that you were supposed to pay attention to, like the bullhead. Like it looks so out of place, mounted on the wall. In this massive open room. Oops, I'm about to knock off.
I mean, they did cut to it like 5 times.
They did cut to it like 5 times throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
Like, maybe this has some significance to it.
No, but like I will say the one scene that really got me as far as like visual without any major special effects was the scene right after Paul and his met the high witch lady.
Yeah, the Bene Gesserit queen.
Yeah, and it was he confronts his mom after the witch lady leaves or whatever.
The High Mother, I think, is her title.
High Mother, my bad. But he's confronting his mother about this, and they're just on this landing pad that is completely covered in fog.
Yeah.
Like they pop really well, and you're paying attention to them, and I thought that was a really good visual choice. But that was when I really made that connection. Is this smart or is this insane? I don't know.
The answer is yes.
Art and madness are usually right there together.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah.
Same goes for a genius. What do you think, Ace?
I also really enjoyed this movie. I had a feeling that I would. It was just one of those things I never set aside the time to actually watch. But man, watching it was, I thought, a pretty incredible experience. I do like where we're going with this, and I like that they weren't afraid to. I mean, obviously they were basing this off of a book, but they weren't afraid to take risk and kill off characters that surely were fan favorites. And again, that was I thought a really bold move, but there's certain things you have to do sometimes in storytelling just to nail certain points.
I agree. Like honestly, a main character death can definitely drive home a point, and I think they did very good with this.
Yeah.
I mean, you can totally see how, like, in the hands of a less skilled director, which it's Denis Villeneuve. Yeah. In the hands of somebody who didn't respect the source material, you could just easily see how this could have been Hollywooded.
Oh yeah.
And cut down to like 90 minutes and
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And just streamlined the hell out of it and just made it something just so run-of-the-mill. But with Denis Villeneuve, one thing that he does extremely well is, like you mentioned, Oz, he does atmosphere really well. He makes things that are really... He makes things simultaneously feel big and small.
I think it was almost too well because it made me not almost pay attention to what the hell the people were saying. So I just
we
was
call
like,
what? I think that's ADHD, bro.
I mean, that's part of it. I mean, but this movie is not for if you have ADHD and you're just like, ooh, pretty. And like, what did they say?
I almost feel like one reason he does it is because, at least for me, in his previous films and in this movie, it always draws me towards the characters. And I feel like he's doing that in certain moments that we kind of hyper-focus on what the characters are doing. So, like, nothing is ever boring, right? But but the characters are really what pop in those scenes. I think about when he did Blade Runner 2049.
He did that?
He did that.
Oh,
yeah.
shit. I've been wanting to watch that movie.
I really enjoyed it. I'm a big fan of Blade Runner, though, so I thought it was quite a fantastic sequel. But, man, like, there were just moments in that were really quiet, but they just popped tremendously so. There's a scene where, like, Ryan Gosling's in that movie. I think he just won an Oscar or something?
he was nominated.
Nominated, okay. I thought he won, okay.
I wanted to see that movie
He
so
may.
bad.
He may, okay.
But he shouldn't because
They got, like, Robert Downey and...
Cillian Murphy should get Robert Downey Jr.'s Best Supporting Actor.
Oh, he wasn't nominated for
Oh
supporting?
wait, no, he is nominated for. No, I think he's nominated for lead.
Really?
But didn't he win it for that fucking song?
He won something for that song.
The
didn't he?
song is also nominated or
okay.
something like that.
Okay. But yeah, Ryan
The
Gosling.
Pete Davidson version is way better.
He's actually Ryan Gosling's actually the lead in Blade Runner 2049, and man, there's a scene where like he loses someone that's really close to him. It's a bot, actually. Technically, it's an AI, not even a bot. He's a bot, and it's an AI. But he loses it, and it's like, man, when that happens, right?
Is this spoilers?
For Blade Runner 2049?
Yeah.
You know how long this movie's been out? It's almost 10 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's on you.
Yeah.
Have you even seen Blade Runner? Like the
I've seen Blade Runner.
Okay.
I actually have not.
Oh, well.
Well, you can.
Did you see Did you see 2049?
I'm sitting across from one of my best friends who's a huge Blade Runner fan, and even he can't tell me which version to watch. You know?
That's why I have all the versions. I said you can pick.
All of them.
Yeah, I want all of them.
Yeah.
I figured
Just watch all of them in
the
like,
final cut, right?
the final cut.
But no, there's a scene right where like the main city that it takes place in is so big and sprawling, but he has this moment where there's an ad for the AI that he just lost, and it consoles him. But as an ad, and he's looking at it though longingly, like it is the same exact one that he just recently lost, and it's a really small moment that takes place in like this big sprawling environment, but because of the way that it's shot and the atmosphere, it just feels so personal. And there's a lot of moments like that in this movie.
I
can see the parallels now.
Yeah.
Like, not that I've seen the movie, but just from what I've heard people say.
Anyways, I really enjoy this band's filmmaking. Sicario's still one of my favorite movies.
Yeah. Is there there's a second one, right?
We don't talk about that one. He didn't.
Okay.
He didn't
I
do
haven't
that
seen it.
Yeah.
I heard it wasn't good. So. Brendan, your overall thoughts?
It's all right. Like, no.
All right.
All right. So we're gonna move on.
Back to you, Tom.
It's all right for a first timer, you know. Okay visuals, no. Not really much I can say that I haven't already said. Like, I'm gonna have to probably give this movie a second watch so I can actually pay attention to what they were saying.
Honestly, I was actually thinking that too, like, because there's so much information. That
and we were too
put
busy making fucking jokes as well.
I will say that
was all you.
No, that was not all him. We were all making.
It was 80%.
I will say I'll give him 60.
Can it be
No,
69?
but at the same time, though, like I will say that, like, even without the jokes, like, there was a lot of information that I will, like, being the lore slut that I am, I want to make sure I got before I fully, say this is an amazing movie versus okay, this is a good movie.
Well, there's so many scenes in the movie, right, where there's a lot going on. Like there's moments in the movie where they switch from English to Mandarin to I forget what the name of the language on Arrakis is in like one conversation because there's certain things they don't want other characters to understand, and then also. His mom is very fluent in sign language. They speak in sign language throughout the movie as well. And
I'm not actually sure that if it was actual sign language or if it was just something made up for the movie itself. But.
So I watched this with Kay a while back, and it is not ASL, but it wouldn't be, right?
Well, yeah, it wouldn't be ASL. But I mean, like, I just like because especially when they do it like on their side and shit. Like, there's no way you're doing
ASL is so expressive.
It's very nonverbal.
Not to derail us, but like I just recently watched and reviewed every episode of Echo. And there's because Echo, she's a deaf character, and honestly I had no idea about like the specifics of ASL, but there are moments where like they're trying to sign on the slide, and I was like, I wonder how much of that is like. Surely they would.
A local Cox is actually deaf.
Yeah.
So
really?
It's legit. Like yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Okay. Yeah, but I was just like, I don't know, like seeing them do it on the slide like that, I was like.
It's pretty slick.
Yeah.
I want to say most of the cast of that movie learned ASL.
Yeah,
for the show, right?
Yeah. Most of them, from what I hear, did actually do that.
Speaking of, I have been watching it and listening to your review episode by episode.
Yeah,
so.
Very nice.
Yeah, good coverage so far.
So was that?
Until I disagree with you, it hasn't happened yet. But.
So was the sign language stuff in the book at all? Like was that, or is that like a touch for the movie?
No, it's in the book. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like it's fucking
it seems like
ingenious,
something.
though. Like it's actually giving me D&D inspired ideas, like for like rogues and shit. Like that would be cool as fuck. Like instead of speaking thieves' cant, you over here fucking doing hand signs, and then they're like, got it, and like just. Like,
you gotta also be careful with like wizards and sorcerers because
right.
So if you have like an arcane trickster, it could be doing shit on the side and then communicating and then doing spells.
Mm-hmm. Well, that is part of it, right? Like the Bene Gesserit, her order is like pretty well known. Like especially if you're like a higher up member of one of the major houses, they know they can use the voice, and that that's why when they captured them, that they like gagged her or whatever. because like you know that this person can make you do whatever.
Jedi mind trick your ass.
Yeah, straight up. So yeah, I mean that like that's kind of one of the things where it's like, yeah, if you capture like one of these people, then you know that you're gonna like keep them from speaking. So like as a kind of
Like
you know,
Allison
You think
from
that's
My
where the
Brother,
Jedi
yeah.
mind trick came from?
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely, it definitely came from the voice.
Like I will say that like watching this and especially basing it off the timelines and stuff like that, I can definitely see the influences.
Oh, yeah.
that George Lucas took from Dune.
Yeah, it really
100%.
influenced a lot
So
of things in our
much.
pop culture.
True,
you know?
yeah. But I guess we were just making a lot more comparisons to Star Wars.
It's heavy. I mean,
it's
Tatooine, all of that stuff.
yeah,
is-
Sandworm
was-
basically being a fucking Sarlacc pit that can move.
I was halfway expecting some Tuscan Raiders.
That's right. Don't
Proud.
call them the other name.
Don't call them
Proud Tuscan Raiders.
Well, and even down to the major themes, right? This is something I was hoping to get into a little later, but I guess we just naturally arrived here now. Is that Dune is a antithesis of the traditional chosen one archetype, right? It is about the dangers of what that can lead to, right? So, you know, there's a scene in the movie that you know maybe don't put a lot of stake in if this is your first time being exposed to it, and this is something on a second watch, so you probably pay a lot more attention to, but. When they're in I believe it's when they're in the tent and he sees that like heavy spice vision. It's the one where he's in like the crazy suit and there's all the war and everything. And he talks about like a fire, like a religious war spreading across the galaxy. And, you know, the whole like kind of idea behind the Paul Atreides story is they set him up to fulfill this like chosen one prophecy. And then it's like, then the story becomes everything that goes wrong because of that. And as you can see, George Lucas also took heavy inspiration from that.
Yeah.
With the
Anakin stuff.
stuff.
Yeah.
So
I'll be damned.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty nifty though, because I mean, hell, in 2020 or 2021, in this day and age, it is hard to do like a stereotypical "you're the chosen one" and just
Right,
play it
because
straight.
While it is an archetype, but that's what made it an archetype because it's something that works.
Yeah.
And like to see this, like it is very tried and true. You know, he is the chosen one. He's going to go through these hardships, become who he's meant to be. Yes, and the hardships that are going to happen after that happens. Yes, but like it does feel like they like this director probably and the writers breathe some fresh air into that archetype a little bit with the way they captured this story, at least in my opinion.
yeah, I mean, in this case, like, you know, the Bene Gesserit went there and kind of like set it up to be Paul, you know,
Yeah.
where as opposed to like it naturally being him in some kind of way, right? Like, you know, with Anakin, we didn't really have that. They had the prophecy, and then they're trying to like shoehorn people into it. Whereas with this, like, they purposefully set these prophecies up to be Paul because he just happens to have like the blood of a great house and be a male with the Bene Gesserit powers. So these are all things that they knew he could do.
So it's like chicken and the egg kind of type.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Like a self-fulfilling prophecy at that point.
Yeah.
Like you're really trying to.
And I got very Night Sister vibes from the Bene Gesserit.
And they probably are an inspiration.
That's the witches, right? That's the witches, right?
Yes.
Yeah, either way, like, whichever one you meant.
We may not be here yet, and I don't mean to jump ahead, but I do have to say this just because we're on the topic of Paul. I do like the character, and I like old Tim. He wasn't really one of my favorite characters in this movie, though.
I know what you mean. Like, you know, Timothy Chalamet, amazing actor,
Yeah.
period. However, there was just something about him in this role that just didn't stand out wholeheartedly yet. Like, I don't know what it was.
He's got to grow. He's got to grow some more.
I halfway expected him to kind of, at the beginning, to kind of be the, like these selfish,
Little spoiled brat.
noble antagonist. The way he was kind of acting, and he used the voice on his mother before he even knew what the hell the voice was.
I can see
She
that,
asked him to do that.
Yeah, I
she
would have.
did?
I think I would have liked that.
Very important.
I think I would have liked that more, just because it would have been something, you know, a baseline for his character. As of now, he just kind of feels like
He kind of already accepted it.
well, it feels like he just reacts to what's happening versus already having like a baseline.
That's true, and I think, and this is just purely information that I've been given by a coworker of mine who loves this fucking book, is that they didn't focus enough on his relationship with his dad, which I think actually explains why he acts that way.
There is a little bit of it. So there's a little bit of each of those things, right? Like, so for one, I would say the relationship with his dad, you don't get a lot of that in the movie because, well, you do have to move it along, right? At some point,
You do.
And then I think they did a very good. They did very good with his relationship with Duncan.
Yes.
But you don't really get a whole lot of his relationship with. I mean, you get some, but
Yeah.
But most of their scenes are apart from each other. And then part of that too, though, is like to a degree he is supposed to feel like everything is just happening around him, right? Because of that whole prophecy thing, where it's like they've set this up, and like he's just kind of the figurehead, right? Like there's nothing they really want him to do, but he's just kind of been put into this situation. But I also think that he will be a lot stronger in part 2 because really this is kind of the catalyst for his character going up to the end of the movie where he takes a life for the first time, and that's kind of the kind of thing that spurs him into that character.
I will say that you actually, like, honestly, after the attack, that is when I started feeling like he was becoming that main character that he needed to be.
Because honestly, up until a point, Oscar Isaac is kind of like the
guy.
Yeah.
Like 100%. He commands that screen, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was amazing.
And that beard.
Yeah.
Oh, that beard.
That beard commands all of the
We're all
screen.
bearded men on here, and we're gonna definitely appreciate that man's beard.
The cast.
I mean,
choices
that's all
on this,
jealous.
in general. I mean,
Oh yeah, honestly, I didn't think there was a bad casting whatsoever. Like,
Yeah, I mean, you don't see that many movies that have this kind of a sprawling cast where you damn near recognize everybody.
right? Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it was like Batista was not in a whole lot, but I think he did a good job with what he had.
He usually does.
I mean, he's
a great actor.
Yeah.
I mean,
Honestly, I feel like he's just Drax, and that's it. Like
In this movie?
like no, I'm talking about like in general.
okay.
I'm not a Batista fan.
you haven't
You
seen
gotta
Glass
see him.
Onion, have you?
Yeah, I didn't like him in that. But also, I just didn't like that character.
Well, you're not
so-
supposed to like that character.
But but I didn't like him. Like just like with Army of the Dead. That was dumb as fuck, and I hated his character in that. He just didn't fit it.
Well, Zack Snyder hasn't made a good movie in a while. But anyway, that's
damn,
not
damn.
All
More
I'm
shots
saying.
fired.
All I'm saying. He might surprise me next time. I didn't get enough of him to actually give any critique for him in this movie.
Yeah. Snyder Cut came out like 2 years ago, but yeah, anyways. So
I wasn't counting that. If you don't count the Snyder Cut, it's been a minute. Watchmen came out when. Anyway,
Damn.
Damn.
The Man of Steel came out and
I don't see how that's relevant to this conversation.
go see it again.
Stellan Skarsgård
Oh yeah.
as the Baron, perfect casting.
Honestly, like it took me a second. And I finally realized who the fuck he was. I was like, oh shit, the fucking Baron himself was
That
just
prosthetic. He was
Yeah.
he was uncomfortable to watch.
Well,
He
Yeah.
was,
not to
and
mention
that was, I think it was definitely
Yeah.
the point.
the 30-foot dick.
and Brendan couldn't get over
Yeah,
There was a lot of penis references during the,
I mean,
the watching of this
everything.
movie.
The giant spaceship that just looks like a blown-out penis.
No. Me and Ace discussed this. This was the giant space butthole.
Yeah.
It
was a
no,
space
the worm
butthole.
one was a giant.
No,
butthole.
there was the giant spaceship that was a
butthole.
Yeah, space.
You had to be here for the.
It looked like a
Indiana
giant
Jones.
condom.
This all relates back to Indiana Jones.
Everything circles back to Indiana Jones.
With a lot of fallacies in that.
No, it was a space time.
It was a space time.
Oh,
Not a space butthole, a space time.
oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
so
there's
then
very
this is
specific difference.
just space. Well, actually,
No.
bear with me here.
Bear with me here.
Oh shit.
God damn it.
I'm pretty sure that the spice actually they do kind of like fold time, kind of like I think it kind of it's almost like a
It
black
makes
hole.
you think
type.
it does.
Like,
It gets you fucked up.
In your
Well,
head.
they also use it as it's the only method for interstellar travel. So
Well,
that's why it's so valuable, not because it makes you high.
Well,
I mean,
8,000 years from now, I'm pretty sure they got lots of ways to get high.
well, I don't think the two are mutually exclusive. All I'm saying.
They're not. It's the same substance.
Yes.
You can do either one.
You come to find out, though, everybody's just really high. We thought we were actually using it for space travel. No, it's just sitting here in a chair.
get you high in 2 ways.
We're all just in the grandpa machine
Yo,
from
yeah.
the Star Wars special.
No, not the masturbation station 3000.
Stop.
Yeah, please stop doing that. That's all for.
That's the sounds he was making.
Stellan Skarsgård, though, for sure. You should watch when you get done watching the greatest television show of all time. He started watching The Shield finally.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
I'm on episode 3, so yeah.
Oh,
When you
just
get done
start.
with that, you should definitely check out Chernobyl. He's incredible in that. too.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
well, make sure you're in the right headspace to watch Chernobyl.
Yeah, Chernobyl is darkness. Like there's not a single happy moment. Like the movie starts off with a bunch of firefighters being fucking melted from the inside out, and then it just goes downhill from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
How do you go down from there?
I mean,
Like, that's,
it's one of those things
seems
where, like,
pretty low.
if you know how it ends, then you know it's just not going to
Yeah,
get better.
and what's fucked about Chernobyl is like all of that happened. You know,
Yeah,
it's not
right?
like some
Yeah.
crazy sci-fi.
Right.
No, that happened. They almost killed everything.
Yeah.
So,
Fucking dark. Yeah.
but
But yeah, Skarsgård, he was the bee's knees in here, and as you guys have
terrifying.
confirmed, bees do in fact have the best knees.
they do.
Yeah.
they do.
He was terrifying, man. It reminded me of what's his name? His Penguin.
Oh
Batman.
yeah. Danny
Oh,
DeVito's
yeah.
No, in the Batman.
Oh, Colin Farrell's like,
Yeah.
Well, I got some Danny DeVito shit, and they're like, he's hard to look at sometimes.
Penguin with
No,
a
like,
30-foot
I
dick.
was right there with you. Danny DeVito is more terrifying than Colin Farrell, period.
I mean, it's kind of like a mixture between the both of them with a 30-foot dick.
You are very hung up on it.
I mean, it was right, like,
And again, we're not judging, my guy.
I'm judging.
it was there.
I'm lightly
Come on.
judging. I'm somewhere in between these two.
I mean, it was all up in, like, come on.
I will say too. I thought Jason Momoa did pretty good in this as far as Jason Momoa goes. Like,
Yeah, like, I hate to admit this because I love the guy. Like, he's an amazing person, but I feel like he does play the same character in every movie he
That's why
plays
he was
in.
hired.
except for Aquaman 2, where he doesn't play any character.
Oh, damn.
He just kind of does like a version of Thor from like Ragnarok, and you know how I feel about that.
That's weird because that's one reason why he was cast is because
Personality, yeah.
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 Well, as we said in our review, in the first Aquaman, Jason Momoa is having fun. And then therefore, like by osmosis, you also have some fun.
Yeah.
I like
Whereas
the
in the
first one.
second movie, he literally is just waiting on the paycheck, and I didn't get one. I just had to
Well,
pay to
I
see
mean,
that.
honestly, like, you know, he
I have not
had
watched
to
it
deal
yet.
with his, co-star, so I can understand that.
true.
So,
yeah.
that's probably why it was like that. It's like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, that's my
Good
next
shit, I'm
button.
out.
But this,
Fuck, fuck this shit, I'm out.
that's the wrap up. That's the close.
Did you put Wilhelm on there yet?
I didn't put Wilhelm.
Oh,
on
how
there.
dare you!
Yeah. I
Unbelievable.
forgot about it.
Unbelievable.
Nope.
No?
Are you looking for the wrong button? 'Cause
No, I was trying to figure out. Did I put a
Like,
Wilhelm
what
button on
buttons do
here?
I have on here?
No,
Nope,
no.
that's not it.
That's the most important button. You ever heard that one yet?
You suck!
You fucking changed
Don't
it.
press buttons. You don't know what they do. You really should watch Chernobyl. That's also about not pressing
I have
buttons.
I feel like we're getting off topic
A
here.
couple of those buttons are going to be used for me.
We are. Did you know that Timothy Chalamet was in Interstellar?
Damn it, shut up.
It's like the fourth time you brought this up to me.
Look, man. Okay. Look, I gotta have a shout out to the homie Lauren. Does she have a homie title yet?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Brendan is still working on his.
Yeah.
Wait,
no, he got
no,
his.
I got his.
Oh,
I was-
okay,
I was-
he
Did
did.
I get
Yeah, I
demoted
see.
again? What
No,
Probably.
No, I was here.
Oh.
You got to renew it every year. So
Oh,
yeah.
oh, is that?
But anyway, she messages me. She's never seen Interstellar.
Yeah.
And she's like, hey, I'm watching Interstellar. I was like, cool. She was like, Timothy Chalamet was at this basketball game, and he was wearing this like custom-made sweater that has the bookshelf from Interstellar on it. And I was like, that is random information.
Right.
I want one of those sweaters, but that's very cool. And then she's like, yeah, apparently he really loves the movie or whatever. I was like, okay. And she's like, so I'm kind of on a Timothy Chalamet kick lately, so that's why I'm watching the movie. I was like, Timothy Chalamet's not in Interstellar.
I would have said the same shit.
And she's like, no, he is. And I was like, what? And I went and looked. Seen this movie a million times. He is in it. He's the little brother. He plays
That's kind of like realizing that Joffrey was in Batman Begins. Like, hold up.
yeah. Wait a minute. Batman could have fixed all this shit right there. But no, random info. But speaking of the cast, though, does anybody else have any like standouts they wanted to speak on?
30? No, okay.
I do agree with your Jason Momoa take. And the thing about it is that like when it's well written and when it deserves that kind of role, it works. You know,
Right.
It's kind of like Jason Statham. He is the exact same character, but when he's in a movie that like calls for that role, he does it really well.
I mean, he's typecast. Like that's what he plays.
I do wanna
That's
know
who
one
he
thing.
is the transporter.
With the Jason Momoa character. What was his name?
Duncan, Idaho.
Duncan? Yeah, Duncan. That's it. Why the fuck does he keep shaving?
That was a little weird.
They don't explain it. At least not that I've remembered.
Like at the beginning of the movie, he
has, like, a
almost
long beard.
no, I don't think it was
Like
long. I think it was just a full beard.
Well, it's just a normal beard that he normally wears.
Yeah, and then like
He
next
trims
scene,
it down.
like it's trimmed, and then the one of the last scenes, he's clean shaven.
Clean shaven
It
Momoa,
made no sense,
which
to
is
me.
weird.
Well, I would guess the original would probably be from wearing the suit, right? Like from wearing the still suit. It's got that tight mask.
Yeah.
A beard probably gets scratchy and whatnot at being in that all day. That's just my guess.
Yeah,
I mean,
And
maybe.
then there's also like I don't know, it could just be reshoots.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
that's
another
more
movie
likely
that he
what it
might be
is.
doing. Who knows?
Yeah, so the interesting thing is originally Warner Brothers, I think that's who did this,
Yep.
would not let them put the movie out with the title of Part 1. Because when the movie actually hit theaters, they had no guarantee whatsoever that there was going to be a Part 2, which is why we had to wait so long.
Damn.
Because they didn't start on, like, they couldn't even start writing it until this movie actually came out, made a bunch of money, and then they were like, oh, yeah, you can do a Part 2, so they didn't even get to start.
That would be
on it
really
until-
shitty if they're like, nah.
That makes the,
Yeah.
that makes the turnaround time even more impressive.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
It was, because I think it was 2022 before they started writing.
Yeah, that's
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 fucked up.
hell. I mean, so that means that
well, more
they-
than likely, those writers already had something already started. They just didn't have anything official.
Well, and I mean, they are adapting a novel that they already
True.
set up really well. So,
Right.
I will say, too, like, you know, it would, he plans on doing the second book as well. He wants to make this a trilogy. And I am against that a lot.
Well, who knows?
How's that second book?
Who knows? Maybe he'll actually change enough of the second book to make it worthwhile.
I have a feeling based on the first one that he's not interested in making a bunch of changes. And I'm going to tell you now, this is a mild spoiler, but Paul's kid becomes a sandworm.
Well, hold
What?
up, hold up.
The second book.
He fucks a sandworm.
No, they put him in this thing in this chrysalis / sack thing, and he kind of gets reborn as a sandworm.
Sounds very Cronenberg.
So he's like half human, half sandworm.
Jesus.
I think you just shorted out my brain.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, I understand. See,
So, does the Baron? This might be spoiler territory. Does the Baron have anything to do with the worms? Is that why he has?
no, the Harkonnens are just.
They're
Then
just
why-
they're just big.
giant
They're space pirates.
Well,
Space
then what's
thugs.
the big long, appendage, or
It wasn't actually an appendage,
It's like-
asshole.
yeah,
it's his
he
body.
just floated
That's
up,
his body, yeah.
and his long ass dress just went down. That is all it was.
Yeah.
no? I thought that he had a long body too.
No, he didn't have a long body.
I mean,
So
he
what
was
was it?
big,
He is always just like that race of people is just big.
but he's
But when
bigger
he-
than the rest of them.
But
he's
when he floats up, all that is his garments flowing down.
yeah.
Then what was that thing that they drug into the room?
It was connected. Like it was
a hose.
It was a hose. Like they have a machine. Like he was on the ceiling at that point.
Yeah.
Fuck. All right, never mind.
Yeah,
You know what? Just go home and rewatch it, and then maybe it'll make
I'll
sense.
go home right now.
He sat there on the couch and watched this with us.
Yeah,
and missed like 70%.
I was looking at other shit.
Apparently, giant penises.
That he was imagining.
Yeah. Weren't even there.
Yeah.
God damn.
That's how it goes.
Well, all right. Yeah, I mean, whatever you
Get a
got
hold of
to
some of
do.
that spice, you know.
That's true. That's true. Maybe you got a little bit of spice.
We didn't talk about Josh Brolin.
Yeah. He was Gurney. I can't remember.
Oh yeah. God, my brain shut off for a second. Oh yeah. No, honestly,
Not his first time working with Denny.
Gurney
he
Howard.
worked on Sicario.
Yes.
nice.
He's great as I think the limited amount of time that he's got.
I agree.
And honestly, I even pointed this out. Like that motherfucker's trigger happy.
Oh, yeah,
Like
he's
no matter
very
how,
aggressive.
like anytime anything gets close to a confrontation, he's immediately pulled a blade and put it to your throat. Like it's ridiculous, but at the same time, it really does drive home that character. Like he's very overprotective. He's no nonsense motherfucker. He's gonna handle it.
And I mean, they really did take every precaution except for, the idea of like somebody from the inside betraying them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
That and I'm sure there were, but man, when right before that siege and raising happened, man, I thought that I would have seen more guards, like just standing post, but instead we see like the 3 guys get put down.
Well, because they probably were like, we're in a bubble. We're good. Because they had the shields up.
Yeah, I mean, that is true, but still, we're in foreign territories, and everyone here is not fully copacetic with us. And there's, this is a very delicate, important mission. At least outside. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like there would have been more.
No, honestly, I'm agreeing with you because especially with the nature of his character, period. Because he's like supposed to be the captain of the guard, right?
Yeah.
Like, as paranoid as he
He would
was,
have been sleeping in the bed with them.
right? Like, I feel like he should we should have had at least a scene of him like, we need more people, like, walk.
And then at least have somebody finally calm his ass down, like, no, listen. we
Right,
don't need
then
Yeah.
the fuckery
The
happens.
dudes that got shot, they didn't have their shields on, right?
No, because it just dropped.
That's true. But I mean, even if they did, though, I guess they would have noticed. But
Yeah, it would like it slowed the dart down.
Yeah, that's the whole point, right?
Well, they actually there is a scene where the Duke tells damn it, what's his name? I just lost it. Gurney.
yeah,
Gurney.
Where the Duke tells him to focus the guards on the spice refinery and where they store it.
Yeah.
So I think that is probably like they're expecting maybe like a land-based attack on one of those locations, and that's probably the best thing the movie has as far as explaining that.
Which
Yeah,
that
it's
makes-
something.
Yeah, it's something.
still something.
Yeah.
And again, it's probably one of those tiny details because, like I said,
Right.
there's so much information going on all at once.
Well, I mean, I thought this movie handled exposition really well.
It did. It did.
Because I mean, honestly, there's like it's not like a movie that takes place on Earth, right? So there's a lot that needs to be set up and explained before we can really not even understand but appreciate what's going on screen. So, like the fact that they're they are beautifully lore dumping on us in the beginning. I was like, this is the only time I want someone to dump on my head,
Damn it.
Even for $4 million,
$3 million, sir.
$3 million. I'm sorry, $3 million.
We're not going here, guys.
We're not.
We're not. We don't need to go here, guys.
I think we're there.
No, but no, I like. I see where you're coming from as far as the lore stuff, like especially like this project has been considered by Hollywood for years to be unfilmable, right? And when we watched the 84 or 82, I keep 84.
84.
When we watch the 84 movie in a bit, you'll understand why it was considered unfilmable.
Well, just because someone fucked it up first, don't mean.
Well, it is an incredibly hard property.
I mean,
Oh
that-
you
that
could
is-
look at it and see like how
Like-
the fuck did they accomplish this?
And I'm very glad that they went as practical as they did, though, because like even with the CGI, like it still felt believable.
Yeah, they blended it.
Oh, yeah.
really well, like to the point where like everything felt like you were actually there.
I think one of the things that that the director realized and implemented so well was that Arrakis has to feel like one of the characters. Like it has to feel like a living place. Like it has to feel unique and be like the planet itself has to be like part of the setting at all times. Like just the way that the characters interact with it, it has to constantly be present. And I think they did an amazing job.
I definitely agree. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even from like the way that like the natives treated with such reverence and respect to the giant ass sandworms. Like,
Is it sandworms or just sandworm?
No, there's a fuck
Swarms.
ton of them.
Yeah, there's
God
they're
damn.
all over the planet.
Yeah.
Fucking. No,
Just seem upset by that.
it was like a Mirelurks. Not Mirelurks. God damn it! I just fucked that up.
Graboids.
Huh?
Graboids?
No.
Great dragons.
Thresher Maw.
Sorry.
That's what I was
Thresher
going for.
What?
Okay.
I said Mirelurk, and I don't know why.
Mylark?
Thresher Maw is pretty close.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah. That's
a Mass Effect thing?
yeah.
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah, Brandon. If you ever, maybe you have watched and played some of these things, but you just don't remember.
Probably. It's that Spice Man.
Yeah, because I want to let you guys know, I'm assuming you've seen the movie if you listen to this, and about, 2/3 of the way through the movie, Brendan asked, like, what the relationship was between the main character and his mom. Like,
So who shooted him?
yeah.
His mom.
I didn't answer it, not because I was being a jerk, but because I was like, who was he talking about?
Like his mom?
Listen. I got nothing.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I didn't think so.
I was paying attention to other things.
We actually haven't
To
talked
the- in the movie.
about Lady Jessica a whole lot.
Yeah.
So what did you guys think about her? Yes.
I mean, honestly, I don't think this was the performance from the actress was really good. I just feel like the actress, the character, is actually very bland.
I was very hot and cold with the character.
Right.
And I think to a degree that's on purpose. Like at times I don't know how to take her, where it's like she does clearly care about her son, but she also is kind of maybe honor bound, also to a degree. And then I feel like maybe there's like the conflict between like, okay, is she trying to do what's best for her son or trying to do what's best for this prophecy? And I think that's maybe something that she's dealing with. But but then there are also other moments, man, where she just sometimes I feel like she was what the movie wanted her to be in the moment. Like she can be the most badass person in the room,
She can.
and then there's other moments where, I mean, she seems more vulnerable, and I'm like, I feel like you can handle this however you feel like.
Right. Yeah, like there were definitely moments like that for me, and like I felt that too. It was very much. There were moments where I just kind of felt like she was meh, and then there was moments like, well, shit, she just kicked the fuck out of that dude, and then using the voice power, that was fucking dope.
I think what would have really helped me with her character, if I had seen more of her interactions with the Duke, because we were probably 2/3 of the way through the movie before we learned that, oh shit, they're not even married, huh? That's more
Right,
of like
yeah.
a concubine, as well as they put it in the movie.
I believe those were Baron's words.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's definitely like they definitely have an interesting relationship where he never married her or whatever, and I'm pretty sure any of the like hardcore book folks are gonna shit on me for this because I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure that she was. It was almost like a kind of like how you get assigned like a maester or whatever in like Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure she just went there as like a consulate or whatever for the Bene Gesserit. like she was just supposed to be like stationed there as like an advisor, and then it became more than that. And so like he just she just had his kids.
So she's not a noble at all.
No, I don't think so. No.
Nah, she's just a member of the
So she
badass voice people.
is she a descendant of them?
Of who?
The witch. The witch is a.
I think it is a bloodline thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Which
That's why I was thinking that the one was his grandmother. Possibly.
the one who put his hand in the box is what he's talking about.
No, they're not related anyway.
I did have a question though. So like, I know they said that like males aren't supposed to be able to have that kind of power, right?
Well, yeah, they're not supposed to have.
They're not supposed to have it, but they can.
They can't. Okay.
Like they are not supposed to. Like it's in the bloodline. They're not supposed to have male children.
Yeah, like, they're not supposed to exist.
Okay, so like, so what did that mean? Like they're supposed to be incapable of producing male children, or
like,
if they have male, they're
supposed to start.
They get rid of
Everybody at home is aware. Ace is over here pulling the
late term abortion.
The piano wire across the baby's neck and slicing throat. Yeah, it's rough.
But because it's on the Duke, they clearly couldn't do that.
Right,
Exactly.
Yeah. Technicalities.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're supposed to Sparta that shit.
Oh no. Oh no.
So yeah, it's just like a not supposed to happen thing, and I'm pretty sure also that she like kept it from them for a while.
Yeah, by that point it was too late because the Duke already had
assassinating the son of like a house like that, that's a lot of risk.
Yeah. And then she's about to have another.
That's right. She is pregnant. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I don't know how long she's gonna stay pregnant because she was running through that damn, blowing shit up.
It's a few weeks. Right now, it's still like a couple
weeks.
It's still like a little Cyberman bean sprout right now.
Well,
God damn it!
God damn it! Now I can't.
They're gonna come out of her and explode.
What the fuck?
Now I can't unsee that.
I can't either.
That was
every baby to me is now gonna be a little Cyberman.
That was quite.
Is that how Napa gives them her?
Stop.
No, yeah, that's.
There's bad visuals.
So what do you guys think about the soundtrack here for this?
I really dug it. I dug it. I can see how for some people there may be certain moments that may be a little grating or maybe even overbearing, but I thought that for like the atmospheric nature of the movie, I really dug it.
Well, I'm gonna personally, I kind of didn't notice it. Like, unless the major tense moments, that was really it.
I think it went perfect with the visuals.
Yeah,
that we were saying.
I agree. I think like you said, like it kicks in at the right times. Like there's not a whole lot of background music really.
Right. And so I wasn't paying that close attention to it until it made me pay attention.
I think that's how it sounds.
I think that's what their intention.
Huh? I think that's how a soundtrack ought to be.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
At least a score.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, just because.
Yeah, I mean, it's more of a score actually.
Yeah, it's because it's like you don't really want. You don't want to use like a score in a movie to make up for like any lack of kind of heart in the scene. You know what I mean? Like, because it's just gonna draw attention to itself.
It's supposed to set the mood, ambience, environment.
I always use the example of Bane versus Batman in The Dark Knight. How that was a super tense scene and there was no music.
Yeah,
you didn't need it. But then there's other moments where like contrast that with like
the Batman
or the Batman or like Endgame, like when like the score kicks in and it's not filling any holes, but it's just amplifying the moment.
Mm-hmm. Well, even in that same movie, like with Dark Knight Rises, like that's such a great example of that. Is like Hans Zimmer has a tendency in that Batman trilogy to always have a little, like, even if it's very light in the background, there'll just be a little something going.
Yeah.
And then you have all the music, all this background sound drops out for that fight. And it like underscored it perfectly, pun intended. And then, yeah, I got you. And then like at the end, like when he lights up the building with the big ass bat signal on it or whatever, and like when the score comes back, that's like the first time after you have that long drawn out period that it like really hammers on the music. But as we've said a million times, like Hans Zimmer is.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's the GOAT basically.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I wonder who did the score for this. I might have looked that up.
That's a good question. I don't know. I overall, I really dug the score though.
Yeah, I thought because you have a lot of this movie where there's no dialogue. Oh, guess what? Guess who did the music for this movie?
It was not Hans.
It was Hans Zimmer.
What?
Yeah.
Irony.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
So no wonder you liked it so much.
There's something about me that's just really drawn to this.
Something about it. I just really like the score. You know.
Yeah, and the cinematographer for this has 2 Oscar wins. Greg Fraser.
That makes sense.
And he was the cinematographer for The Batman.
Okay.
For Zero Dark 30.
Oh, nice.
And for Rogue One.
Shit.
So
Okay.
Man,
yeah,
that's some credits.
3 episodes of The Mandalorian, Vice.
I can kind of see it, man.
Yeah, so and Mandalorian, it has a lot of scenes like this where there's no dialogue, right?
Right.
You have to let the visuals kind of tell the story a little bit. So
And there were some beautiful shots in this movie.
Oh man, that was why I didn't pay attention to any of the dialogue.
it's the Cuphead effect, right? Like that game's more difficult because you want to look at everything.
Yeah,
You die.
yeah. I mean, I would die anyway, but yeah.
But yeah, I could see how, especially if you never seen the movie before and you got fucking ADHD, like there's scenes in this movie where there's like some music happening, there's a crazy visual happening, and then like someone's doing sign language and there's a subtitle.
Right.
Yeah, you just don't care what's being said. You're just like, ooh.
It's a great theater experience.
I bet. Yeah.
With a movie, like there's just some movies where it's a different thing in the theater. I watched Interstellar the other day, and it's a different movie.
You saw it in theater, didn't you?
Yes.
I forgot about that. God
Yes,
damn it.
and I forgot just how.
And we're going to
haven't
see
seen
Advent
it.
Children later this month, right?
Yes,
next month.
next
I've never
month.
seen that.
Oh well, you should come. It's
Fuck yeah.
but yeah, it's 21st, I think. Regal is.
I heard that
showing
movie's
Advent
weird as
Children.
shit.
Oh, at the Regal?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. You got to slum it up. I
I'm
saw
thinking of something else.
I saw Godzilla -1 over
Oh,
there a
okay,
few weeks
okay.
ago, and it's overblown.
I haven't seen it yet.
If you tell yourself over and over for the whole movie they made this for $10 million, then it's very impressive.
I used my Marvels ticket to see it. Because I still had the Marvels ticket.
They let you refund them?
No, they let you use it for another.
The Marvels is a way better movie
Then Godzilla?
than Godzilla -1. Yeah.
Okay, I haven't seen Godzilla -1, but I don't know if that's accurate. I don't know if that's accurate.
I didn't see Marvels.
I'm going to agree with Caleb. Mostly, I haven't seen either one, but mostly because I hate kaiju fights.
That's because you're
You
uncool.
don't like kaiju.
Well,
'Cause you're just lame.
So not this is not the Godzilla -1 review, but so let me just explain. So the visual effects in the movie are at times incredibly good. Like there's a scene in the early movie that will straight up remind you of the T-Rex from Jurassic Park, and like that animatronic still to this day holds up. It's still so believable. And so there's a scene in the early movie where they do like a Godzilla kind of like that, and it's tremendous. You've seen it, right? So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And then later on, though, there's some fucking scenes where you think it's like 1940s Godzilla, where he's just slow walking with this derpy ass look on his face.
I mean, I think that was kind of the idea behind it. Like,
Well, they
they
can fuck right off
were
of
very
that.
traditional with it. It was pretty much a remake of the 1954.
I can explain all the cats on the ship eating the crew and then vomiting them back up.
No,
later.
no, you can't. Because here's the difference, right?
They gotta bring back that man's traumatic experiences.
There was, I'm sure, I haven't seen it, but I'm sure there was an actual plot to Godzilla -1. Therefore, it trumps the Marvels.
We don't have to do this here. I will say that the plot for the human characters in the movie is better than pretty much any other kaiju movie,
Kind
right?
of a low bar, but okay.
That is an insanely low
mean,
bar. Yeah,
There's a reason why I
That's
like
not
it.
what. That's not the reason why you go see a kaiju movie.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit about the humans.
There's 30 minutes of the movie where there's no Godzilla, and you feel every second of that shit.
It's definitely got some Japanese. I don't know about tropes.
It would not work in English either, I don't think.
Oh,
which is
yeah.
why there's not a dub version.
A lot of Japanese mannerisms, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Did not sound
So,
xenophobic or anything like that.
so I know I'm not going to give any spoilers right here, but the main character was a kamikaze pilot. And if you are a kamikaze pilot, you're not supposed to be there.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like,
So, yeah.
So it starts out like he didn't want to.
I don't fucking blame him.
Right, but you know, like the kind of like cultural shame,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know, everything
yeah.
with that.
Okay.
So that's kind of his background for his character. It's a cool idea.
Yeah.
You know, and they did a lot better with it than they did with like the Finn as like a stormtrooper thing. But that's a low bar also.
That's also a little yeah.
But I don't think it would work in English. There are a lot of like heavy like Japanese tropes in the movie. But yeah, you know, once again,
it's-
So 2021 Dune.
yeah, not the Godzilla -1 review.
There was, I mean, obviously quite a bit of not only gorgeous shots, but there are some cool action scenes in this movie as
Oh, yeah.
well. I feel like most of the hand-to-hand combat scenes went to Jason Momoa or Timothy Chalamet, who I thought both handled
That
it.
samurai kill was pretty slick.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, at the end. Yeah.
Speaking of Japanese, you know,
I think they do like some of the fights they do in this movie. It kind of makes you feel like, okay, and this happens with several films where it's like, why haven't we got a good live action Dragon Ball Z yet? Because it's totally doable.
that was Man of Steel, sir.
No.
I wouldn't say that was a.
It reminded
Stop
me.
talking now.
Yeah, please.
No, no. That reminded me of a damn Dragon Ball fight. There was just no lasers and.
There were lasers.
were lasers.
Did you see that movie too?
God damn it, Brendan!
No,
There's
no
quite
big
a few
lasers.
There's
Oh, my
quite a
Lord.
few lasers.
You know what? Never mind. I'll talk to you guys no more.
There's a shit ton of lasers.
No, but honestly, like the choreography for these fights were really good. I will say, I don't feel like their shields did a goddamn thing.
No, because they have the special knives to go through them bitches.
They do not.
Yeah, it's not that the knives are special.
Yeah. So the shield is designed to take a certain number of hits, but also like anything going slowly will penetrate the shield. They explain that in the beginning.
Yes, they do,
But they
I
weren't
still
going
feel
slow.
Like
Like that, they didn't seem like they were going very slow. Like everybody just seemed like they were
yeah,
swinging.
like, I actually agree with Brendan here.
They
Like,
weren't. Like when they're going fast, they're wearing the shields down, and then they can penetrate.
That's some video game shit, man.
yeah.
Well, like, that's why they explained it though.
Still doesn't mean they were good. I'm
definitely,
just not a fan of the shield, especially. I think the dart is what got me the most with the shields. Is when it hit and just kind of stayed there and kept
Well, he
going.
couldn't reach the bitch.
Okay, so I didn't have a problem with that, right? But I think maybe one thing that would have helped sell it more would be you see somebody with like a regular style gun try to shoot and then it just deflects off the shield. You see
Yeah.
that first, and then
Right.
you see that they got something that is made
Yeah.
like that dart to
Yeah,
penetrate.
they didn't really explain the dart. Which, by the way, did they ever explain the dart that almost hit Timothy Chalamet in the eyeball?
Oh, the dragonfly?
Yeah.
Well, they said it was a spy.
That was a
Yeah,
There
but
was a
like,
guy in the wall that was
did they actually show the guy on the wall?
Yes.
What was I paying attention to?
everything.
Whatever-
Whatever I was
That's
paying
probably,
attention to.
it's probably whatever Brendan fucking brought up.
Yeah, they showed the Harkonnen guy. He was like in the wall. He had like a big old tube or whatever.
Oh, is that the one that he was actually? They found him dead in the wall.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So how did he die in the wall? Just
I mean, either they found him and killed him, or he suffocated in there. I don't know.
One of the two.
well, how did he get in there?
The
He's
Harkonnens had the planet first, so he just stayed in there when they left.
He's a spy.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Fair enough.
We talk about the action sequences, man. The Harkonnen assault on the planet.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That may be one of the few instances of like a space warfare. Like like an orbital bombardment kind of thing that exists in cinema to that like degree of good.
It to a degree it reminded me of like what Thanos did to Avengers HQ, but like if it was more than just Avengers HQ.
Right? Yeah. I thought the
this.
visual of the bombs that actually hit some of the structures that had shields on them.
Yeah.
And then it kind of exploded on the inside. Then it
That was very
erupted.
pretty.
That was cool as shit. I enjoyed the hell out of that.
Like, ooh, pretty colors.
Well, it's just like that thought of like the shield is also holding you in, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like that when that bomb gets in there, you've basically turned your ship into a
It's an
fucking
implosion.
death chamber. Yeah,
Yeah.
and like nobody thinks about that.
Yeah.
No, but
I mean, I'm sure you don't feel much at a certain point.
Well, it's kind of like a plane crash. Like when the plane is going down, you have a lot of time to think about the fact I'm about to go splat. And the same thing with like that scenario. Like, man, these shields are holding up for about 2.5 more seconds. That's plenty of time for me to contemplate my inevitable doom.
Seems about a good amount to make peace.
Yeah. I mean,
pray to the sandworms.
yeah. I mean, this whole like, I think one of the things that this movie maybe doesn't really have a chance to spend a lot of time on is kind of like the whole idea, like the conflict of the great houses. Like you have to pick that up from context, right? Like there's no part where it really outlines that like the Harkonnens and the House Atreides have been kind of at odds all these years or whatever, and like House Atreides got. I mean, they cover that the Emperor was afraid of House Atreides getting too strong, so they come up with this plot to lure them to Arrakis. Like, hey, we're putting you in charge of it because they know there's no satellites there. Yep. Nobody in the galaxy is going to know what happened. There's not going to be like YouTube video or whatever.
No extranet service.
Yeah, nobody's going to see it.
No
So
cell signal.
I mean, and the Fremen aren't going to tell anyone. So it's like, they lured them here into this vulnerable position because assaulting their homeworld probably not going to go well for anyone.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So and also if the Emperor, if people find out that the Emperor is like playing extermination games with the Great Houses are just going to crush the Emperor.
Right.
So, this was like this kind of perfect scenario that he lured them into to team up with the Harkonnens to take them out.
Some shicey shit right
Yeah,
there.
that's what that's what they call a dummy mission. The Emperor sent them on a dummy mission.
Yeah. And that is going to be a huge part in part 2. Mm-hmm. So.
Especially, I mean, so on paper, House Atreides is fucking donezo, right? Like
Yeah, they two of them. Honestly,
one,
just one, just the one.
Yeah, because if it comes down to it, Jessica's with the Bene Gesserit. She don't give a fuck about
Right.
House Atreides.
Yeah.
I don't know you people.
I just fucked that guy one time.
Well,
Twice, at least twice.
Twice.
Do we know that second child is his?
I mean, we don't have
It's
any
heavily
reason.
implied.
That's what she's probably going to say.
So, and maybe this is just me, but the one of the final action sequences we get is Paul fighting one of the
Ramis, I think is his name.
Yeah, Ramis. While I enjoyed this fight immensely, I kind of felt, and maybe this kind of just stems with the character that Paul is that we had issues with. It's like I kind of feel like he kind of won that fight way too
Easily. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be more of a slugfest, but
Yeah.
it was very impressive.
It was very impressive, but
He got to the point where he was almost toying with the guy. Like he like was almost invincible. Every move he had an answer for.
right.
with the guy.
And don't get me wrong, at the beginning of the movie, we did get the Gurney. Is that his name?
Yeah, Josh Brolin's character.
Well, Gurney also says that he's standing in for Duncan.
Yeah.
Duncan actually trained him.
Yeah, but also at the same, it was just I felt like we needed a little more of him showing his ability for me to fully believe him just easily beating this guy.
In actual, in a non-practice scenario.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. Like, I completely buy that this guy knows how to fight. I mean, any kid in that scenario who's raised inside of an empire, you have a very important role. You have the best teachers. Yeah, this guy's gonna know how to fucking fight. Mm-hmm. That part I had no problem with. But yeah, I do wish it was a little bit more resistance.
Right,
I
'cause,
thought
like,
the guy was definitely going to be more of a problem than he was.
Right, yeah, because like I kind of feel like at least at one point, like because even his mom says it, that he's never taken a man's life before. Okay, maybe that's how he gets his ass beat a little bit because he's not willing to do that yet.
Well, that does happen in the fight, though.
Not really though. He gets punched in the face one time.
No, he got knocked down because after he
Yeah,
asked
knocked
him
down
if
by
he,
being punched in the face one time.
well, he punched him in the face at the beginning of the fight.
Well, either way, like he gets knocked down, not almost killed, knocked down.
But I do agree that they should have given that fight a lot more time to breathe. Like it could have been easily 2-3 times longer than it was.
Yeah, that was another thing I thought it was really short.
I mean, don't get me wrong. His like you said, Brendan, his anime kill at the end.
The samurai anime kill with the delayed reaction.
Like delayed reaction, stab in the back. That was dope.
Sun rising, you know. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that was definitely like the only thing that was missing was like him looking down and the camera's on him while the other dude falls.
Blood, yeah.
And then the fucking fountain of blood. It's like,
that is the only thing that was missing. But like, I mean, and again, it wasn't a bad fight sequence. Honestly, it was very impressive. But and again, storytelling wise, I guess it's the wrestler in me. Like
I'm with you because it was like when he had the one vision when he's in the war, and then like he's kicking all kinds of ass, takes out the helmet, and we see it's him. I was like, yeah, that's a fucking vision.
I was the same way. You're just
but
some delusions of grandeur right there, man.
Exactly. Like, or maybe that was what his future self would be.
Yeah,
exactly. Not that he's already there.
Right.
And so, like, I felt this fight needed to be a little more against him rather than him just showing off.
Yeah, I think this fight needed some more room to breathe, and I think they also should have done a better job of kind of one of the reasons that he's so good in the fight is he's seen it before, right? He's dreamed about this a bunch of times, and they really didn't draw that line very well. And that is a fine line, right? Like it's like, you know, on the one hand, it's like you don't want to have something like just you don't want to be beat over the head with it. You don't want to like pour it out in front of you, but you also don't want it to be like a Zack Snyder fanboy trying to defend Batman vs Superman, right? Like that shit ain't in the movie, you know. Like, damn.
Or trying to say that the Marvels has a plot, like you know, that shit just don't make no sense.
All right, guys. All right, guys. What did I become the voice of reason here?
I think what you meant to say was Homie's award winner, The Marvels.
Yeah, what did it win again? I think it was best of the
worst. It did win that, but that was the Homie universe.
That's true. Yeah, it had some real stiff competition.
I'm very proud of all of them for voting for that. We can set aside best supporting character because I think that was just a bunch of people clicked the wrong thing. You're mad about what about Guardians 3? It won like everything.
I know.
It was
fucking.
It was good, sir.
Yeah.
It was not only good. It was. I mean, the movie of the year is.
I like and hate that movie at the same time.
We know why you like and hate that movie. I get it, but that's good storytelling.
No.
It's supposed to draw you in and then crush your spirit.
You need to go sit with the homie Lauren, and you two just need to.
Yeah. Right?
Don't get me wrong. I cried, but I moved on.
And there was things that bugged me because that he needed his mask, and there was no reason for him not to have his fucking mask. And that bullshit reason that James gave was stupid. Fuck that reason.
They gave a reason though.
It was a shitty reason. Oh, he forgot it. He always had it on him to begin with. So the one time he doesn't have it.
I agree that scene's not great. Yeah, it's not great.
And his guns.
But
So
anyway,
2021, Dune.
yeah,
Chris Pratt is not in this movie.
He is not.
yeah, that would be terrible.
Telling people to open the fucking door.
He plays Paul.
Oh no!
God,
The dark, the other dimension version of this movie.
There's a darker universe where Tom Holland played Paul in this.
Oh.
And it's just a him and Zendaya love story. But no, I actually think though that Timothée Chalamet was kind of the perfect person to play Paul just because of who he is. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's hard for me to envision somebody else playing the character.
I mean, honestly, I have no issues with the casting whatsoever. And again, I think it was more of just the not getting enough of certain things to make it a little more stand outy as a main character. Prevalent. Yeah. The word I meant to say is prevalent.
I don't know.
Stand outy, that also works.
I think that the second movie is gonna revolve a lot more around him and Chani.
Yeah.
I'm thinking he's going to show a little bit more personality in the second one.
I think so too. Just out of, honestly, just out of necessity, I think he will, because there's going to be decisions that he's going to have to make. Is he going to, kind of like Kratos and God of War Ragnarok or Atreus? Like, are you going to lean into the prophecies, or are you going to purposely do things that are against the prophecy? Or and those things, I think, in and of themselves will help flesh out his personality a little bit more.
Yeah. I some of the trailers for the second one, I actually think that Chani is very gonna be against. Like, I think she really cares about him, but I think she's gonna be very against the idea of him being this messianic character and fulfilling this prophecy. So I think there's gonna be some conflict there, actually.
Ooh.
So
Yeah,
that, or they're just making it look like that in the trailers, and it's going to be a big old fuck you.
I have to go watch the trailers again, because I've seen the trailers, but I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I have no context.
I haven't seen the trailers.
You've seen this movie, and you still don't know what's going on.
Right.
Fair enough. You're not wrong.
I've seen Tenet like 3-4 times, and I still feel that same way about that.
I just need to watch it backwards. Maybe then I'll understand.
I still need to watch this.
This movie.
I can be as just as confused as you.
I mean, you can tell me the same things about Tenet that I can tell you about Tenet. Yeah, I've seen it like 3 times.
Right.
So,
but I want to be just as confused. Okay.
That was the most confusing.
I watched Tenet, and I know exactly what the fuck.
That was the most confusing review that I've ever done in my entire life.
It was, yeah. I mean, I wasn't on that one, but I listened to it, and I was like, yep.
I was like, man, but that shit was so cool, and
then the thing happened, and then another thing.
I'm not sure why this happened, but I think it explains.
And then this guy did the thing, and they shot a gun, and
that is actually coming back to theaters. Also, They're about to put Tenet back in theaters for a short release.
I'm still mad I missed Interstellar because I love that movie.
I really hope that. So right before Oppenheimer came out, they actually played it in IMAX in a couple of places, and I wish I'd have gone to see it again. So I hope they do that again, because, man, I gotta say, after I saw it the other day, I think it's the best theater movie ever made. Like, to see it in a theater.
Oh, now you got me thinking.
Yeah, I forgot how, because I watched it a bunch when it came out.
Yeah.
It's a trippy ass movie.
Yeah, I still can't stop talking about it. It's a fucking great movie. But I think I don't think it's the greatest movie of all time. That's another Nolan film. But I think in the theater, though, I think it is. I think it's the best theater experience. So
yeah, I saw that one in theater actually, and that was one I was kind of like Brendan when I saw Interstellar the first time in theater. I was just kind of taking it all in. It was like, oh shit, there's a story going on here. Let me fucking
let me pay attention.
Yeah. Well, you have no choice.
That was one of the few movies I actually did pay attention to.
That movie in the theater, man, it just it pulls you into that screen. Mm-hmm. You're there with it,
Yeah.
But I gotta say, I saw this movie. I saw Dune in theaters. I saw it in the Dolby Theater and I saw it in IMAX. I gotta say, I liked it a lot more in the Dolby Theater.
Really?
So the difference being, not to get too off on a tangent on this, because I'll talk about this forever, but
I mean, new tangents now.
I don't think I've ever been in a Dolby Theater. Like, is that just a normal theater, or is that like a special kind of theater like IMAX?
No, a man named Dolby actually runs it.
No. No, it is basically it is a special version. It's actually better than IMAX typically.
Really?
IMAX has the different format, right? So like an IMAX frame is taller, right? Zack Snyder jizzes about that shit. It's why Justice League is in.
I thought Nolan was also pretty big.
Nolan actually is really big on IMAX.
James Cameron.
But so the Dolby though has Dolby Vision HDR built into it, so the color palette is a lot better. Like, have you ever seen something with HDR versus something without? Like, the color palette in an IMAX theater is typically not as good as it would be in seeing in a Dolby theater.
For some reason, I just assumed it already had HDR.
You would assume wrong.
No, that's probably did.
Some of them do.
The more you know.
But
The more you know.
yeah, I actually miss living next to that theater. It was like really fancy when what's that Will Smith movie where he's like the assassin?
Gemini Man?
Gemini Man, yeah.
That was actually a really good movie.
There's only like
Right here.
11 theaters in the U.S. that could show that in like the way it was meant to be seen because I think they shot it like 240 frames,
Something crazy.
crazy shit like
Really?
that. And like that was the theater that was right by my house at the time was one of those theaters, and I actually
shit.
saw it in that format.
Damn.
And it was mind blowing. It's still, if you get it on the Blu-ray and watch it, it's still pretty fucking crazy. But yeah,
That
like
theater.
seeing it that way was nuts. It's a very unique visually film. That would be a good one for us to.
I wonder if you could watch it on like a
review.
computer monitor like
yeah.
that.
You can. Yep.
Which one of them and Gemini Man slapped Chris Rock?
Both of them.
Oh shit.
One hadn't done it yet, and one had.
Oh.
But yeah, later this year when the writer's strike is like really fucking us, that'd be a good one for us to go back and review.
Oh yeah, because the writer's strike is going to catch up to us this year.
It already kind of
Yeah.
like we have a small batch of things coming out, and then drought.
And a lot of that shit, at least on like the superhero homies, a lot of that shit isn't even really gonna be good. It's like we got Sony stuff, so we got Madam Web, Kraven the Hunter.
Deadpool 3 finished filming.
I mean, yeah, we got Deadpool, but besides that, we don't have
That's
a whole
the
lot.
bright shining star this year.
I mean,
That
that's
is
something.
that is this
to look
year's
forward.
Guardians 3.
Yeah.
I mean,
So let's before we go off on that tangent,
Yeah.
let's wrap up some Dune 2021. I want to go around the table and get like the expectations for part 2. I'll start with you, Brendan, since I've been starting with Oz all night.
I'm expecting a lot more shit to hit the fan. A lot more. Hopefully, I understand a little bit more of the lore going in.
So rewatch it again before
Yeah,
we
we
go
watch
see
it again. Yeah,
Hell,
Actually pay attention.
I'm probably going to do that too.
pay attention to the dialogue. Other than that, like I don't know the story too much to actually. I'm expecting it would be really weird to go in this and just have it shit the bed after seeing what we just saw. So I'm, given the precedent, I'm expecting a whole lot, especially visually and auditorily.
Yeah, I think so. Like,
Lots of pretty things, lots of big, uncomfortable.
but he really wants to do a part 3, so got this one got to make money for you to.
So
get
there's
that.
no way to, part the rest of the story out.
Well, he wants to do a part 3 being the second book.
Second book.
Yeah, so like the part 2 should completely finish the first book up, and then he wants to do a part 3 that would be the second.
How many did you say there were? Like 8?
There's a fuck ton, like 30,
20.
something.
Oh,
20
What?
or 30, something like that. All right,
Are you serious?
Yeah,
most of them were written by the author's son.
yeah.
I think that's what you said earlier.
I have a friend of mine that literally like has a physical notebook where she watched read all of these and like noted like.
And only people like the first.
So
book?
Frank Herbert wrote the first 6, which is Dune, Messiah, Children of Dune is the original trilogy, and then God Emperor of Dune, Heretics of Dune, and Chapter House Dune. After that, his kid wrote like a fuck ton. And I'm pretty sure for the last 3 of those original 6 that they had Frank Herbert like locked in a room somewhere at gunpoint and were like, write novels, motherfucker.
Right, bitch.
Because
Write it now.
like, yeah, like, man, it's so out of steam. It's been out of steam for years, decades actually. So, as a matter of
Interesting.
fact, it was out of steam before any of us were born.
So are the first 3 any good? Like, I know people love the shit out of the first book.
He said
obviously.
that Paul's baby turns into a sandworm.
And how many books total did he say there were?
Like, there's like 20 something.
Okay.
It's a lot.
I mean, depending on how it happens,
I'll say this: like I'm curious to see how this second movie wraps up this story, because even though this first movie was like 2 hours and 20 minutes, it's got some length on it, but I still feel like there's a lot of ground to cover still.
Yeah.
And
I expected a lot more. That's one thing about this movie that I should have known, it being a part one. I expected not more, but just more things to actually happen.
Well, I mean,
and more time with a lot more of the characters.
A lot happened, and this movie did exactly what it needed to do, in terms of like the storytelling. But I mean, you can.
But there's a lot
to cover. Yeah, there's a lot of setup.
A lot of setup that you can definitely tell they were planning on doing. What is that?
There's actually an illustration.
Oh my fucking god!
This is
that is a horrid abomination.
That's what I thought the guy looked like underneath the fucking robe.
It's a demon in D&D.
You goddamn right, that's a demon.
But I can't remember. It's got 4 arms, but looks very much like that.
In my humble opinion, the shit is amazing in the first book, and then it goes completely off the fucking rails in the second book. The overwhelming opinion seems to be that it goes off the rails in the third book, and I'm like, motherfucker, it was way off the rails.
Does the tone change in the second book or something? Like what? Like how much could it change?
It's not that the tone changes. It's just that the things that Frank Herbert just wants me to accept, like the line is moving very quickly, and I am not moving with it. Yeah, and I gotta say, it is very impressive for a story from 1965 to hold up today, right?
Right.
Because of how tropey all of it could come across.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they probably set up the tropes.
Right, I mean that's the thing.
They are the originators.
So many of the things, like this whole idea of like them being the antithesis of the Messiah prophecy, that was a trope in '65. Like that's when he wrote this, you know. So it was already a trope then, where he goes, "Well, what if this was a bad thing?" And like, I made the story about it being a bad thing.
Yeah.
But Ace, what you thinking about part 2?
Yeah. So like I was just saying earlier, I think that part 2 actually has a lot of ground to cover. And I mean, I'm really anxious to see how they do it. I think they're gonna pull it off. I think we're gonna obviously get like a new slate of side characters, which may be just more of a formal introduction of some of the characters we got in the third act of this movie. Yeah. Just because so many of our side characters met their demise in this one.
You think it'll be another 2.5?
At least, if not longer. I think they may need it, honestly, just because again, like I feel like there's a lot. I don't know all the material that's in the first book, but I imagine that where it ends feels like a conclusion of sorts. Yeah, and I just feel like they have still quite a bit to do to get to that point. So I'm not mad if the movie is 240. I think that that the story kind of earns it. So. I think that we'll see, obviously, a lot more of the relationship between Timothy and Zendaya's characters. I think that, obviously, this whole prophecy thing is going to come to an head. They have to find a way to... they got to find a way to resolve this issue with the Emperor, because, the fuck are they going to do? You can't just be like, hey man, that shit wasn't cool, dog. He's like, you got me,
you got me. You're right. I'm good now. I'm good. My bad. I just lost my cool. My bad. You go do your thing.
We never even see the Emperor.
No.
I think Christopher Walken is playing the Emperor.
Holy shit!
Oh my god! So what we're gonna do is we're gonna
for like a split second there. I thought you were talking about
your whole civilization. And if you don't like it,
I'll stab you in the face with a soldering iron.
Let me ask you something. Does your mother sew?
Timothy, what?
Boom! Get her to sew that.
Oh, you see that? I was hoping so much that was going to be in the '80s one.
This was your father's watch. I hid it up my ass.
Oh God, no! Pulp Fiction, though, man. Yes.
Oh my God!
Do you think watching the David Lynch one is going to skew what you're expecting?
I don't want to watch it before we watch the good one.
No,
No,
we
we
are.
are.
No, we
We
are.
are.
No, we don't.
Yes.
So
No.
that we have like that bridge.
Yes, Christopher Walken is the Emperor.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Like in the new one?
Yes, in part 2.
No fucking way.
And also, Florence Pugh is playing the princess, so that'll be interesting also.
Who's that?
Yelena.
You went to see Oppenheimer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
She had
that
the
has
titties.
like the 30
The
minute
naked chick.
nude scene.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
had the titties. Jesus Christ.
Well, there's only one set of titties in that movie. And
The
it's
naked
hers.
chick that fucked him
Anyway,
during the conference.
I said Yelena first, all right? He didn't get
you
that.
You did. I that's gonna be something else with Christopher Walken as it.
it really is.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's going to be wonderful.
What about you, Oz?
I'm actually really excited to see the retaliation of the Baron, because there's going to be a moment where he finds out that Paul is still alive.
And has like the Fremen with him.
Yeah. So I want to see that conflict personally. Obviously, we're going to see Batista's character probably become more prevalent, but at the same time, do we actually get to see? I want to see more of the Emperor's like blood goons. Yeah.
His new groove.
No, not the Emperor's new groove. No touchy. Okay. Anyway, I'm talking about the blood blood guys. Like we got a little bit of them.
Blood farm too.
Yeah,
Well,
I think that was really dope. And so I want to see more of that.
I was hoping to get more of that, and
But obviously, there's going to have to be like you said, a lot of ground to cover. We're going to have to see Paul become basically the leader of the Freemen, because that's going to eventually fucking happen because he's the chosen one, and. I say that with such disdain, but I get it. And then, of course, then we're going to have to deal with these conflicts. They're probably going to tie a lot of stuff together towards the end for like a big battle or whatever. But I'm excited to see what happens. And honestly, I would love to see them throw a sandworm at a spaceship.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
what's
Kind of
gonna?
like the Thresher Maw in Mass Effect. I want to see them
Use the
do
Thresher
that.
Maw to take out a Reaper.
Yeah, I want to see that shit. I think that would be cool as fuck.
The sandworms are definitely be involved in that big ass battle.
Oh, I'm obviously, because like any little tremor triggers the fuck out of that.
Right.
This is why I like kaiju battles and giant robots. That's the reason. That feeling that you have right now.
No,
that's the same.
no.
That's the
That's
same.
not the same thing.
How is that not the same?
We don't have to do this.
So here's the reason why it's not the same. Because us as the humans are using the massive monster to do one thing, other than having two big things fight over the fate of the
No, but if
human
you
race.
have a giant robot, then the humans
That's
are
just as bad.
How is that just as bad?
So, taking it back earlier, in Godzilla -1, he doesn't fight another monster, so you might like that.
Yeah, I think this is like back to like Godzilla's.
No, he's just
Or
wrecking
they're trying
shit.
to, it's humans fighting him, right?
Yeah, he's like definitely the antagonist.
Boo. Was this man?
There is a scene where he attacks one of the cities, and that whole scene is fucking dope.
If nothing else, I just want to see the sandworm open up its fucking Sarlacc pit mouth and suck up the Emperor. That'd be kind of cool.
The Emperor. I don't think the Emperor's coming to Iraq.
Yeah, but
Probably
I don't
not.
know why he would do that.
Honestly, that would be the
I would
dumbest
see
thing
his
he ever made.
the worm go into space.
Oh, it's good. They're
Get his
gonna
ass.
fly it right up to
I do like what you initially said. I was like comparing it to like the Thresher Maw attacking a Reaper.
Yeah.
Because that shit was epic.
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
and they used that perfectly in Mass Effect
3.
3. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the few
To chunk
highlights.
up.
But like a Hail Mary play like that in part 2.
Yeah, like I think it would be one of those things to level the playing field.
Yeah, and look at me, it would definitely have to be a Hail Mary play because you can't, put that toothpaste back in the fucking tube. You know what I mean?
No, you can't.
No, that would definitely have that like end game type thing.
One of the things I'm really excited about, we're going to get Fade Rotha, which is another Harkonnen character that we did not get in part 1. That's the one that Austin Butler is playing.
Oh,
And he is like their Duncan, basically. He's like their
Nice.
best
Super
warrior.
soldier.
In the 82 version, we'll get to see that character pretty early on.
played by actual Elvis.
Oh.
No. Might as well be. Might as fucking well be. So yeah, our plan, guys, is we are gonna review the 82 David Lynch version before part 2
Oz
comes
is looking
out.
forward to it so much.
Yes.
And I'm just gonna tell you guys, they squeezed the entire first book into like 2 hours and 12 minutes.
That's
You
just
said it's
impressive.
worse
It's gonna
than the
feel-
holiday special.
It's gonna feel insanely longer than that. I can't wait. Like
So,
it's so horrible.
So make sure you have the AC going for us, my dude. I'm gonna have to bring a fuck ton of snacks just to keep me from nutting the fuck up.
I have alcohol on deck. All right.
You know what? Yes, yes.
No,
like, honestly,
no, he
we
has to remember all of
We
it.
need to do this on a weekend, and you're DDing, and I'm just going to be like
No,
tossing them back the whole
no, you
fucking
don't
week.
get out of it that easy.
Yeah.
We can take an Uber back to your house.
Okay, that works.
It won't be that expensive. It's not that far.
Just saying. Like, I don't want to be sober during this one.
You can bring me back over here and get my car.
No, you have to be there and present
Listen,
and experience.
you're never here in present, so
Yeah, that's my
fair.
favorite.
How do you
Patrick Stewart.
think
is
what
in
my
it.
that doesn't make it any better.
Yeah, it's,
I
it's
mean-
like Harrison Ford was in fucking the holiday.
That's true.
So was Mark Hamill. Apparently, Carrie Fisher was in it too.
Well,
so
she was there in body.
Carrie Fisher was definitely there. We're not sure if that's Mark Hamill. Or not.
That's true.
it just didn't
That,
look like
oh
you.
my god. Yeah.
that was that. I don't know, the makeup that they had on him was
That shit was.
very disturbing.
Yeah.
I don't know what was more disturbing, Mark Hamill or the grandpa.
No, the grandpa.
The grandpa was definitely more disturbing.
Vigorously masturbating in the living room was wild.
Yeah. I love the review that said it was directed by a sentient bag of cocaine.
That was incredible.
Do we got anything else we want to say about 2021 Dune before we wrap this up?
This is an extremely impressive movie.
It really was. Like, I knew I was gonna like it, but like, and again, like, I just never got around to actually finishing watching the movie. So I'm glad we did it this way because like it's definitely enhanced the movie going experience for me. So yeah.
Yeah, I think the first one did really, really well, if I remember correctly, and I think that the sequel will probably do just as well. I know a lot of times direct sequels have a hard time because you're gonna get the audience who saw it the first time around, but it's gonna be hard getting new people in to see a sequel unless they obviously
Go back and watch the
Right.
the original.
Well, you got to remember too that this was in the era when like they were releasing shit on Max pretty quickly.
yeah.
So I think Dune was only in theaters exclusively for maybe a week.
Yeah.
But it
I remember
did
that now.
402 million at the box office on a 165 million budget.
That's good. I'm surprised the movie only cost that much. Really.
Me too. Yeah, I was like, dang man,
That's low.
Yeah.
In today's
They got their
blockbuster
money's worth out
standards,
of that.
they spent more than that on She-Hulk.
I mean, he's not exaggerating.
I'm not.
Those Disney Plus shows cost fucking
Really?
money.
She-Hulk was more expensive than like the last season of Game
Game
of
of
Thrones.
And is it
Yeah.
as shitty as that looked?
Yeah, and it looked fucking terrible. Yeah.
What the fuck? How?
It's a Ponzi scheme. Like they pocketed that fucking money.
Oh, of course. Tax write-off.
The 1984 Dune made $30 million.
$30,000.
At the, I actually thought that it was. What's really funny is it made 30 million domestically and it made 30 million worldwide. Internationally, it only made 54 grand.
How much did it
Jesus.
take to make it?
I'm trying to see what the budget actually was on it, but yeah,
The budget, shoestring and imagination.
Imagination.
$42 million budget.
Wow,
Made
so-
30 mil on a $42 million budget.
But then 30 international?
No,
it's,
30
like,
total
what is it?
worldwide.
Yeah, like 30 total worldwide. So all of it was in the America.
Outside of the
America.
U.S., it only made $50,000.
yeah.
No one gave a shit.
Yeah. So yeah, I can't wait for this. Siskel and Ebert said
I thought you said 50 million.
they said it is physically ugly, contains at least a dozen gory, gross out scenes. Some of its special effects are cheap, surprisingly cheap, because this film cost a reported 40 to 45 million. And the story is confusing beyond belief. In case I haven't made myself clear, I hated watching this film. Damn, I don't know if I've ever said that on this podcast.
That's impressive as shit.
So I cannot wait to watch it with you guys because I love you all tremendously.
Oh,
It's going to be interesting to say the least. Maybe I'll follow this one just fine.
I gotta say, Brendan, I never actively tried to antagonize Oz by making him watch shitty movies, but you I have.
You've tried to break me.
And you've been very difficult.
Well, because he likes them.
He does. Like I made him watch like the shitty He-Man movie with Dolph Lundgren.
Oh my god!
See, that's the problem. You've been feeding the beast.
I made you watch Steel with Shaquille O'Neal. I thought for sure this is gonna get him.
See,
if this doesn't get him,
I thought that he would hate this movie because it's actually good.
yeah.
See?
All right. No, I enjoyed it.
But you will not like the old dude.
Don't say that.
You
I
don't
know,
dude. You don't know that, man.
You want, dude.
You sure about that? Don't.
And
You
you watch,
sure about that?
And you watch Captain America with us.
And if I'm not
1990.
mistaken, didn't you actually watch the holiday special
By
on your
himself.
own?
He listened to our review of it and then watched it.
After we explicitly said,
Yeah.
So, bro, I don't think there's anything that can break him.
I have not watched
5
Howard the
minutes.
Duck yet.
5 minutes into the old Dune movie, I don't know, man. You'll probably be
Still
like,
debating my existence. I think the reason why Howard
wish I
Duck
could have
hurt
seen
me
that.
so bad is because that was the day that my love for movies started to break.
Broke your virginity of the.
And I blame
The
Ace
movies.
so much for that. That's why I don't think the holiday special, while it did make me very uncomfortable and I still hate you for it, I don't think it hurt me as bad as Howard the
You
Duck.
almost
were
left
conditioned.
during
I
Captain
was-
America.
Yeah, I was already conditioned. Because, see, Howard the Duck started it, then Captain America, then the holiday special. So
Captain America.
What?
he already said Captain
Oh,
America.
you
I
did?
said yes.
hey, man, no wonder you didn't have any idea.
I don't listen for shit.
So all I'm saying is, I don't think I can ever truly, fully move on. I will forgive you.
You haven't forgiven me.
I have.
No, you haven't.
He did. He forgave you during the.
He said he forgave me, but he hasn't actually done the act of forgiving me.
Just because I forgave you doesn't mean it still doesn't hurt.
Oh,
Forgiving doesn't mean forget.
Actually, we were mistaken. You mean 2023 Homies Award winner, Captain America from 1990.
Isn't that wrong?
He's not wrong.
Well, technically, the movie didn't win shit. The episode of the podcast won.
That's true.
Well, I can't wait for fucking Madam Web to clean up this year. The Homies Award.
Oh my god!
It's going to be the Guardians of the.
You know, it's anticipated to make like half of what Morbius made.
I didn't think that was possible. We're divided by negatives now.
I mean, Morbius. How much did it make the second time they tried to put that shit out?
It like none.
Like, yeah.
No one went to go
No
see
one
it.
did, yeah.
That shit was that was one of the funniest things to ever happen, to be honest, because it was
They
trending.
re-released it?
Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
the internet tricked Sony into re-releasing the movie. Like, the movie was so comically bad that it like went into theaters, and then like people were talking about how fucking awful it is. So Sony was like, "Oh, it's trending on social media. Everybody's."
It was also the Morbin time thing.
yeah. Everybody was doing the "It's Morbin time."
It's
memes
Morbin.
and shit. So Sony was like,
It's time to morb out.
Man, people really want to see our movie. So
Even
they
what's his name was on
fucking
it.
released it
Yeah.
in theaters, and it made like $8 or something.
Once
That is amazing. That's one ticket.
Once
If that.
what's the guy's
At the
name?
dollar.